back in the GSC. Well, always in the GSC now down the stretch, but back in the GSC on the road.
That's right. And week to week, it's always going to be tough opponents. And going up to Cleveland, Mississippi and play Delta State, who is a very good football team and always a tough place to go in and play. So we're up to the challenge. The guys had a good day practice, and looking forward to going up there and looking forward to it.
I would imagine that this week getting guys jacked to play and ready to go shouldn't be a problem.
No, it's any GSC team, everybody knows that they're going to be a good opponent. But Delta, with all that they've been for a really long time, and then obviously our game last year, we had a very poor performance against them, and so now the motivation's there. We got a good energy at practice and getting ready to go up there and face them.
Is there a difference between motivation and revenge? Is there no revenge factor, or?
Sometimes there is a little bit, and for us it's more revenge of just how poorly we played. I mean, they were a really good football team, last year, but we didn't do anything to help ourselves either. And we're looking to build off of a good win here that we just had at homecoming, and take that that energy and that momentum into the game.
Talking about going back, since you mentioned it, to last week's game, good to start fast again and get out and make some big plays, and particularly on offense. Talk about that a little bit.
It was. We did a good job defensively, came out and held them to, I believe, 4 straight punts. And offensively, the first and third drive, we had some good plays, and Gervais' big play for the first touchdown, and then Darryl Collins and Harry hooked up for a big play to put us up 2 scores early, and that was huge. That's exactly what we needed to get that momentum going in front of a good crowd, and then we were able to answer. They hit some big plays, and every time we were able to come through and answer and keep it at that 2-score game. And then the defense got a turnover. I think we ended up with 17 points off of turnovers.
Right.
So that kind of helped us widen the gap and put on a good show.
Well, and defense forced 4 turnovers in all, and didn't allow Shore to complete a pass. Now, they don't throw very much, but still.
Yeah, without a doubt. And usually when they do throw, it's big gains.
Right.
And so to hold them, I think they were 0-9.
Yeah.
To hold them, passing. They took their shots, and our guys had, our corners and secondary did a good job, staying on their man, staying locked on, and then making some plays to get the ball out.
Special teams coming around. We always talk about special teams. We talk about kickers and punters and returners, but sometimes we don't talk about the guys that get downfield and make tackles. Bob Myers for one. I know 3 or 4 times last week.
There's no doubt, and that's our challenge to the team, not just on special teams, but to everybody. We give out an effort award every week. We give out a toughness award, a humility award, and an effort award. And our challenge has been for somebody to step up and beat Bob on that effort award. And you just watch him run down the field, and he's the first one down there every time. He's always taking his shot. A lot of times his shot gets him on the ground. And then start out the second half, thought it was really big. He went down there, got the guy off balance, and then Raheem Dixon cleaned him up with a really good lick. And that really set the tone for the second half. We held them to a punt, and then we scored the next drive, and really helped us widen that gap. But Bob and several other guys, they get down the field and do a great job. But you can always find 21 getting down there first.
Talk a little bit. We've had a little bit of a switch over now with the placement duties, and Jordan Eichner doing a little more double duty now with punting and kicking. Do we expect that to stay the same, or depending on how well people get?
Yeah, well that'll be determined. During the week, we kind of play that by ear throughout the week, and Jordan's been. He's been working at place kicking more than he has in the past, and looked pretty good at it, and so that's why we've given him those shots lately. But really, that's kind of a week-to-week thing. We feel good about the one we put out there. We're going to feel good about him, and so that's a good place to be. But that could change or stay the same. We'll see how it goes throughout the week.
Seems. How are we? Last week was a little bit different, seeing the same quarterback take the first snap and the last snap, first time all year. And I know all 3 of those guys have had their shares of bumps and bruises. So how are we there at that position?
We're getting healthy. Last week Harry did a good job, and we felt like the momentum was going in the right direction, and there was no real reason to change. There was also, due to some injuries, we really didn't need to change. We're trying to make sure those other two don't re-injure things, and it's getting to a point where this week they could all three be healthy or really close to it, and which makes it interesting. Harry's done a good job. He did a good job in there Saturday. Did a good job the last two halves of the games before, and Dez and Trent have done good things as well. So we'll get through practice and see who we're going to roll with, and then we'll let the game dictate a little bit of the rest of it.
Typically, for you defensively, Delta, since Coach Cooley's been there anyway, they present a lot of problems speed-wise. They fly around, and so what do we have to do on that side of the ball to meet that challenge? I
Well,
guess?
we're going to try to, obviously we got to run plays where we can allow our guys to, to gather some of their different alignments and their speed and be able to know who they're going to block and be able to collect a lot of it and open gaps there. And then we got to get the ball, on the perimeter and in the air to the playmakers, and they got to make some plays. And that's what it's all about. And then there'll be some times that maybe we can use some of their speed against them in some different ways. So we it's all about devising a simple scheme that can get the ball to playmakers and let them do the rest. And so that's what we're looking to do.
Conversely, on the other side of the ball, they have historically had some playmakers and some guys that can really run. Defensively, what do? We keep playing with the eyes, I guess.
We do, and we got to stop the run. They've been running the ball more the last 2 weeks than they had, and we got to stop the run, and then we got to be able to put pressure on the quarterback when they do throw, and then their screen game is huge. So we got to, those three in themselves, the fact that they run the ball well and then they throw a lot of screens and throw the ball down the field, that stretches the defense pretty thin. So, we've got, good work at it throughout the week, and, we got to be ready for those things. But I think if we stop the run initially, it'll really help us to be able to focus on the other.
Last question. Game was originally scheduled for 6, been moved to 2. Is that a positive or a negative? Or I guess if it was a negative, we wouldn't agree to do it.
Yeah, I think it's a positive. I do. I'm not one that likes to sit around and wait on a game, and I don't think our guys do either. The other side of it is when that game gets over, we still got a bus ride back to Livingston. So, the earlier it gets over, the earlier we get back, and it puts us more on a normal Sunday schedule as we move forward. So to me, it's all positive, and I'm excited it got changed.